Hollywood, California, March 18, 1971. Thursday evening, 7 o'clock, CBS Television City, Studio 41. The Merv Griffin Show, live broadcast, weeknights at 7, running for 3 years. Tonight's guests, a singer, a comedian, and 2 people who should not be on the same stage at the same time, Bruce Lee and Judy Grable. The set is standard talk show architecture, Merv's desk stage left, a couch and 2 chairs stage right, band in the back, studio audience 200 people, 3 cameras on dollies. The ON air sign above camera 1 glows red. 8 million people watching at home. Live television at its most exposed. Everything that happens in front of everyone, with no second takes. Bruce Lee is 30 years old, 5'7", 140 pounds. Dark suit, white shirt. He is the second guest, booked through a publicist building awareness for his martial arts demonstrations across Los Angeles. Merv Griffin had seen one, was intrigued, booked him. Judy Grable is 32 years old, 5'9", 165 pounds, 6 years undefeated. Women's World Wrestling Champion, legitimate credentials. She has defended her title in 12 countries. She is not a theatrical performer. She is an athlete who has spent 6 years proving women can compete at the highest levels. She is wearing a professional suit, hair styled, makeup done for television. She is the third guest. The singer performs first. The comedian follows. Both go well. The audience is warm. Then Merv introduces Bruce, martial arts pioneer. The Green Hornet, the man teaching Hollywood how to fight. Bruce walks to the couch, sits. The interview begins. Merv asks about Jeet Kune Do, about the philosophy, about the difference between what Bruce teaches and traditional martial arts. Bruce answers clearly. He is good on television. The audience is attentive. 5 minutes pass. The segment is going exactly as planned. Then Merv says, "We have another athlete with us tonight, Judy Grable, Women's World Wrestling Champion. Judy, come on out." Judy enters from stage right. The audience applauds. She shakes Merv's hand, shakes Bruce's hand, sits in the chair next to the couch. Merv begins her introduction, her background, her championships. Judy answers directly. Professional, articulate. Then Merv, doing what talk show hosts do, tries to create a connection between his 2 guests. He says, "So we have a martial artist and a wrestler, both combat sports in their own way. Judy, have you ever studied martial arts?" Judy says, "I respect martial arts, but wrestling is different. Wrestling is real. It is not a demonstration. It is 2 people competing under rules with judges and referees. What happens in the ring is what actually happens. No choreography, no performance." The studio goes slightly quieter. Merv leans forward. He can feel the shift. He says, "Well, Bruce's martial arts are also real. He teaches practical fighting techniques. Subscribe, enable notifications, like the video, and comment below which Bruce Lee moment surprised you most." Judy looks at Bruce, then at Merv. She says, "With respect, Kung Fu is for movies. It looks impressive. But wrestling is sport, real sport. If someone grabbed you, truly grabbed you with intent, Kung Fu would not help. Wrestling would." Bruce has not changed his expression. Sitting on the couch, hands folded, looking at Judy with the same attention he brings to everything. Merv looks at him, says Bruce. "Would you like to respond to that?" Bruce says, "Wrestling is a legitimate sport with a long history. What I teach is not sport. It is combat methodology. They serve different purposes. Judy says, but in a real situation, wrestling wins. Size, strength, control. That is what matters. The audience is very quiet now. The cameras are locked. Camera 1 on Bruce, camera 2 on Judy, camera 3 on Merv. The director in the control room is making hand signals to the floor manager. This was not in the script. Merv tries to redirect well. I think both of you have impressive skills in your respective fields. Judy does not redirect. She says, I am not trying to be disrespectful, but I have competed against men. Large men, strong men, and I have won because wrestling is about technique and leverage. If Bruce believes Kung Fu is practical, I would like to understand how it works against someone who actually knows how to control another person. Bruce says calmly, what specifically would you like to understand? Judy stands. The audience makes a sound, not a gasp, something quieter. She is standing in the middle of the set, under the lights, with the on air sign glowing red. She says, if I grabbed you right now in a real wrestling hold, could you escape? Merv stands. He says, Judy, this is a talk show. We are not really set up for... Judy says, it will take 10 seconds. Either Kung Fu works or it does not. 10 seconds will answer the question. The floor manager has his hand to his earpiece. The director is speaking to him. The floor manager is walking toward the set, 15 feet away. Bruce stands. He looks at Merv. Merv looks at the floor manager. Bruce says to Judy, if you would like a demonstration, I am willing. Judy steps toward Bruce, 3 inches taller, 25 pounds heavier. She says, I am going to apply a wrestling hold, a real one, not staged. Show me how Kung Fu escapes. Merv says, maybe we should take a commercial break. The director's voice comes through the floor manager's earpiece, loud enough that people near the cameras can hear it. Do not go to commercial, stay live. The on-air sign stays red. Judy moves, fast. 6 years of competitive wrestling means her body knows exactly what to do. She closes the distance. Her right arm goes around Bruce's neck from behind. Her left arm wraps his left arm, standard wrestling control position. She applies pressure, real pressure. The pressure of someone who has applied this hold in competition. Bruce's body does not resist the way most people resist. Most people pull away. Bruce does not. He moves into the hold, slightly. His right hand rises, finds Judy's right wrist where it crosses his throat. 2 fingers, specific point on the inside of the wrist. Light contact. Judy's grip loosens, not because she decides to. Her fingers respond to something they have never encountered. She reasserts, increases pressure. Her left arm is still secure. She still has control. She is a world champion. Bruce's left hand moves, not much. His fingers extend, make contact with a point on Judy's left forearm. Precise, specific. Judy's left arm releases. Both grips fail simultaneously. She is standing behind Bruce with her arms around him but holding nothing. She tries to re-establish. Her hands function. They open and close, but the hold is gone. 4 seconds have passed since she initiated the grab. Bruce steps forward, turns, faces her. 3 feet apart in the center of the set. The on-air sign glowing above them. 8 million people watching. 200 people in the studio completely silent. Judy looks at her hands, opens and closes them, looks at Bruce. Her expression is not anger. It is someone encountering information they have no framework for. She says, "What did you do?" Bruce says, Pressure points along the extensor and flexor tendons. Your hold requires sustained grip strength. I interrupted the signal at the source. The strength is still there. The connection to express it is temporarily redirected. Judy looks at her hands again. She says, "That should not have worked." Bruce says, "It worked because of the quality of your hold, not in spite of it. Weak holds do not create enough tension to redirect. Your hold was technically perfect. That is what made the technique possible." Merv Griffin is standing at his desk. The floor manager is at the edge of the set. The band has stopped. The audience is frozen. Camera 1 locked on Bruce and Judy. Camera 2 on Merv. Camera 3 pulling back to show the full set. Judy says, "Can you do it again? I need to understand how that happened." Bruce says, "Yes." She steps toward him again, applies the same hold. Faster this time, more force, full competition intensity. Bruce's hands move to the same points. Same light, contact, same result. The hold fails in the same way, at the same time. Judy releases, steps back, breathing normally, not exerted. Processing. She looks at Merv. She says, "I came here believing wrestling was superior to martial arts in practical application. I no longer believe that." The audience makes a sound, not applause, something between acknowledgement and uncertainty. Merv walks to center set. He says, "Well, that was not what I expected tonight." He looks at the floor manager. The floor manager shrugs. Merv says, "We are going to take a break. When we come back, hopefully, we will all have processed what we just saw." The on-air sign goes dark. The floor manager walks to Judy and Bruce. He says, "That was the most watched 4 minutes we have ever broadcast. The phone lines are already full. The network wants to extend the segment when we come back." During the commercial break, Judy speaks with Bruce privately. 2 minutes. The cameras are not recording. The audience cannot hear. When they return from commercial, Merv asks Judy what she is thinking. Judy says, "I think I need to learn what Bruce knows. I spent 6 years believing technique and strength were enough. I was wrong about what technique means." Bruce says, "You were not wrong. Wrestling technique is legitimate. What I showed you is a different system. They can coexist. They can complement each other." Judy says, "I would like to train with you." Bruce says, "You are welcome at my school." The segment continues for 6 more minutes. The tone has shifted, no longer confrontational, collaborative. By the time the show ends, the phone lines at CBS have received over 400 calls. The network has never received that many calls during a live broadcast. The next day, the Los Angeles Times runs a story. The headline, "Martial Artist Demonstrates Technique on Live Television Against Wrestling Champion." Judy Grable visits Bruce's school in Oakland 2 weeks later. She trains with him for 4 hours. What she learns changes her approach to her own discipline. She integrates elements of Bruce's teaching into her methodology. She never discusses the specifics publicly, but people who trained with her after March 1971 notice a difference. She becomes more interested in pressure points, in efficiency, in techniques that work regardless of size. The Merv Griffin Show episode from March 18, 1971 becomes one of the most requested episodes in the show's history. People want to see what happened, want to understand how a wrestling hold applied by a world champion failed against a man 70 pounds lighter. The network airs it twice more over the following year. Each time the ratings are higher than the original broadcast. 8 million people watched it live. Millions more watched the replays, and every single one of them saw the same thing. 4 seconds, 1 hold, 2 pressure points, and a world champion standing in the middle of a television set, looking at her own hands, trying to understand what had just happened to them. Subscribe, enable notifications, like the video, and comment below which Bruce Lee moment surprised you most.